Welcome to Real Talk with everybody. Real Talk Mary J. I hope you're having a happy Merry Monday today. I am so excited to be having a happy Merry Monday live in the studio with my dear friends Allison and her wonderful husband Craig. Listen, it's a love story we're going to share with you guys. They're going to talk about just how they met and how God started their love journey all the way to the nuptials to their wedding day. I can't wait. Listen, love is in the air, everybody. Love is in the air. Let's welcome on the show today my dear friends, Allison and Craig.
Hey,
Hello,
Mary
guys.
J. That was an awesome introduction. Thank you.
Listen, that was the short version. I couldn't go into the long version to tell them how wonderful you all are and your beautiful wife that is my dear friend that I just love and adore. I had such an awesome time sharing with you all, flying down to Baltimore to celebrate the beautiful occasion. And Craig, I am just so proud of you. You just don't know how proud I am of you, all the wonderful things that I've heard and all the wonderful things you have done. I am just so proud. Listen, I want the world to know that it took somebody like Allison. We had met through a class. We were both under Les Brown's mentorship program and became Power Voice speakers, stood on the Power Voice stage around people all over the world. Of course, Allison is a best-selling author of Cracks in the Powder's Clay. But listen, there was something about Allison that kind of just drew me. We just connected because we have so much in common, that kindred spirit. And nobody really knew, Allison, that I flew to Baltimore to your wedding and had met you the first time on your wedding day.
Yep. That's how awesome
like,
you are.
It was like
and said the grace.
Yes,
Mary J is a
grace.
pastor. For who people don't know that Mary J is a pastor, and she graced our food, said a little prayer for us, and prayed for us together. Yeah.
I love it. But listen, before I get into all of the discussion of your beautiful, wonderful love story, I want you both, Craig and Allison, let the people know who you are and what you do. Both of you, go right ahead.
Hey, everybody, I'm Craig. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, moved to Maryland. I've been married once. I was single 3 years before I met Allison. I'm an owner-operator. I'm in love with this beautiful, amazing woman right here. And it didn't take me very long after meeting her to realize how special she was. And she's just so awesome. I keep discovering more about her. And I love her so much.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm distracted. It's my fault. I didn't change the name. I was supposed to change the name.
That's okay.
Paul
okay.
Thomas.
Right.
It's Paul Thomas. I'll be in trouble later.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
There we go. I got you. See, I got you, my friend. We already know. It's Craig, listen, I got to cover it. You see that?
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Mary J.
And if you're not going to tell them about yourself, baby, I'll tell them some things about you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This wonderful lady right here, she was a school teacher in the Baltimore school system for 23 years, teaching young minds art and Spanish.
Yeah.
She's bilingual. She's an author. You already know that. She's a mother of two beautiful children, Joshua and Christina. And Christina is smart and beautiful. And she's a grandmother. And she got a new grandson, my son, CJ. She's great. She's a karate expert. She's just a wonderful woman. She loved the Lord so much. She praised the Lord. She walks in the steps of the Lord and the Holy Spirit. And she's just a great person with a good heart. And she has a website, a business, a nonprofit, All Is On Church Ministries.
All Is On with God Ministries.
All Is On with God Ministries. And she's I'm always finding out new things about her. She's a beautiful spirit, a beautiful person that only wants to walk on this earth and help people.
Y'all, thank you, baby. This is what you call agape love right here. The love we have for each other. God gave us the love we have for each other. We just met September 6th of 2022, okay, on eHarmony.
That's right. Shout out to E Harmony.
Shout out to E Harmony.
September
Yeah.
6th.
September the 6th. And we got engaged October 26th. And we got married December 18th. And we are happily married. And Craig started us off praying when we first started dating. He said, before we start, the first time we talked on the phone, he said, before we talk, let me pray. And he put Jesus in the center of our union, in the center of our relationship. And Jesus has seen us through. And it's just we laugh about how much we accomplished in a short period of time.
Yeah.
You see, and that's so wonderful too, because a lot of times, that just goes to show you. That's why, I actually titled this Love Waits, because to show you how it doesn't take a whole lot of time to actually know what you want, and know when you see what you have is really what you want, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. But to see that you all just had met in September and got engaged in what month?
October.
And got married in what month?
December.
And
a big wedding.
A huge wedding. And I understand that must be Nikita by your feet, right? That's
Max and Nikita by our dogs.
Their dogs. And I just love it. I love all of it. I even love how you all blended the families together, blended the dogs together, Max and Nikita. And even your wedding cake had the bride and groom and the two dogs on the wedding cake. I know.
And that's another thing that we're both animal lovers. So, that was one of the things that she had to check on my box, and she did, obviously. And she had to be fit and health conscious, and, you don't have to be slim and petite, but you have to be, health conscious. And, she cooks healthy food, and she's, runs. She's an athlete, so that was on my checklist to have somebody.
And a black belt, Craig.
A black belt.
And here go Nikita, and he's learning too. I don't know if y'all saw any of our lives.
I did.
We did 3 lessons. I'm teaching him some Kempo karate. He's gonna be a black belt too.
Awesome.
He's a quick learner, and we have so much in common. Okay, so to shout out to eHarmony is you answer all of these tedious questions about yourself, and then they find matches for you. Some of the matches they found for me were like scores of 74, 80. Our score was 106, and then they have these columns that you can look and see how compatible your scores are as far as nurturing, maternal influence and paternal influence, all of these. And ours were so close. They were so close. And
wow.
But I give God the glory. I give God the glory because He's everything I asked God for in my letter. I wrote a letter to God because I was content with serving God. I had been married 3 times, as my dear friend Mary J. Right?
Yes. But listen, before you even go into that, Allison, I remember asking you. Do you remember me asking, Allison, do you ever desire to be married again? I've been married 3 times. So have you. I said, do you ever desire to be married again? And you were like, you know what, Mary J, if God has the right man and the right timing, I would be ready. I would be ready. I don't oppose it. I really haven't really thought that much about it, but I would be ready. And like, lo and behold, there he was standing in the gap waiting.
Yes.
I think you helped me. When you asked me that question, Mary J, because I was so content serving God. I was like, okay, I've done the wedding thing. I've been married 33 years out of my life. Okay, I'll just be by myself. I was enjoying God. I was enjoying doing my life. God gave me purpose. He gave my life purpose. And come on, Nikita, lay down. And we got a big German Shepherd at my feet. Okay. and a Yorkie.
Yeah, a little miniature dog
at his feet. And I was content, and I was like, I was telling people that I didn't want to get married again. I told my friend Jean, and I was telling people that I'm content. I'll just be with God. And then when you asked me that question, that made me think about it. And I'm like, okay, well, what if God wants me to be married?
Right.
So I got to be open to His will, whatever it is. So I wrote this letter to God. I said, God, if I'm content in you, but if it be your will for me to get married, can you send me a man who is handsome, sexy, loves the Lord, um, um, what is it, wealthy?
I ain't got that box checked yet.
Yeah, okay. He's
Hard
very
working. How about
modest,
hard
working. But I had said that he all of these that he likes to dance, that he likes to swim, that he likes to run, um, that he likes to clean and cook. I've put that he speaks Spanish. What else? All of these things that he was patient, that when he messes up, he fesses up, and that we never take each other for granted, and we find different ways to love each other, show each other love every day. And that's everything that we have. That's everything. He's even learning Spanish on Duolingo. He does it every day. He's trying to learn his Spanish. It's like
That's
God
wonderful.
gave us everything. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the plan down, make it plain so a herald can run with it. And the herald are our angels. And if you write something down in faith, believing that you receive what you ask God for, you will receive it. And I'm living proof. We are living proof. This is amazing. My life is amazing. Our marriage is amazing.
And
I
Mary
couldn't
J,
be more happy.
when we started texting after we got on eHarmony, then we exchanged phone numbers. We started texting, and she put in one of her texts, she wants a man that treats her like the world and opens doors for her, and
She likes the chivalry.
Yeah, the chivalrous,
knight in
that
shining
man that
armor.
is chivalrous, it was something that I got from Steve Harvey, that quote that Steve Harvey said, and I typed it exactly. He said, I want a man that's full of chivalry, who makes a woman feel special, who goes out of their way to make a woman feel special and stuff. And then this is what he
And then I responded back, how about a man that has all his teeth and limbs and goes to work every day, is honest and truthful and he's got a good start.
And I cracked up. I said, that's a real good start. The way he walked in the truth, I love that. And he had said he didn't see my message right away. I wasn't doing too good on eHarmony at first, because men weren't pursuing. I wanted to be pursued. I wanted to do it God's way this time. And because I was so controlling and so forward, and but Craig was the first one that he put this long text. I think I put the message on maybe 3 weeks before I even heard from him, because he wasn't on there. He was telling Craig.
Well, I hadn't paid for the subscription, so all I could do was, I really couldn't see who sent me message or anything. So I had some bad experiences with online dating. It's just people over and over. So I kind of got frustrated with it, and I stopped it for a while. Like I said, I was single for about 3 years, and
Me too.
And I had got on eHarmony, but I didn't pay for the subscription for about the first month. And I went to see my mother, and she was like, well, how's your dating going? And I was like, oh, okay, here you go. I know my mother wants me to be with someone. So I came home and paid for the subscription, and I saw a message that's the first time I seen a message from Allison. I guess she had sent it about 3 weeks earlier.
And he said, are you still interested? I am. And I was like, okay. Because like I said before, the men weren't, I figure I'll show an interest. I like a man's picture, and then he'll, reach out.
And he has to reach out. He has to.
What they were doing. I would like a man's picture. He would like my picture. I was like, what kind of crap is this? But he responded with this long paragraph. I was like, okay, we got something here. So we met on September 6th. Our first date was September 10th. He took me to the Rusty Scupper on the waterfront in Baltimore. It's a beautiful seafood restaurant, hot, very, very classy seafood restaurant. And he opened a door for me, which he still does. Opens a door in
and carried you over the threshold.
Yeah, he
Oh
did.
yes, oh
Yeah,
yes,
he
yes. We
did.
that once
Even
we got
asked
home.
my father's hand in marriage. He did
Yes.
everything. Nikita, come on now.
That's wonderful. Let me say something about that with Craig too, because I'm so glad you brought that point up, Allison. That you know, just as a lady, a classy lady, that we would present ourselves right before a man, and then it's up to the man to catch eye contact and to come in for the pursuit. And so a lot of times we find that men, like you said, you liked his picture, he liked yours back, and almost as though they want you to initiate the conversation, right? And so Craig, being the gentleman that he is, initiated by texting you this long text of, you know, are you still interested? Craig did tell me that story, by the way. When I first met you guys and I came to the house, he told me the story of his mother asking him about his dating life. And so he, you know, he was like, I haven't been dating much. Okay, I applied for this subscription on eHarmony. I hadn't applied yet, but I'm gonna go ahead on and finish it and get started with that. And then there you were, and he swiped and saw you, and it was like
Yeah.
magic from there.
Hey,
So
hey,
I
that body shot that she had on there didn't hurt. Okay. She only had two pictures on her profile, one of her face, so she had a hat on, so I really couldn't see her that good. And she had her body shot. And I was like, okay, let me find out more about her.
Guess what, y'all? Mary J. Has, I know, a couple reasons why you named it Love Waits, but the most important thing was he waited for me. I'm a woman of God. My heart is totally devoted to God, and I know it's God's will. For it's not His will for us to have premarital sex. So we didn't, and he waited for me. He waited for me, and we got engaged October 26th, and this is the ring he gave me when we got engaged. This is the ring, three and
well,
three
listen.
carats.
Wait, what did you just say, Allison? How many?
Three and three quarter carats. My ring. He picked it out. I said I'm like a pear shape. And then he sent me, this man is the most romantic man in the world. Do you
Well,
hear me?
let me just lean over and show them this portrait here. Hold on a second.
Okay. Nice.
Give me a minute to get it up here. So they don't have to lean in too far to see that. Hold on a minute. Let me move the banner so they can that right there, guys. That
My engagement ring, and
that's
this is without having sex with me. So he loves me for me. God sent me somebody who loves me for me.
absolutely.
I think I proposed that day. That's one we did it live when I proposed to her. And I think that's one of the pictures we took.
And when I noticed, because y'all know I go live all the time, and when I saw his Instagram page, he was doing his own business, and he had all of these lives. I'm like, God, he's just like me. He's just like me. He's totally comfortable in front of the camera, and we do lives all the time. I mean, it's like, at first I was like, how am I going to find somebody like me? God could do anything. God can
And
do
he
it.
did it.
Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart. And that's what He did for me. He gave me the desire of my heart.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't know where I'm looking at in that picture, but it's a nice picture. She looks beautiful. I'm looking up in the sky somewhere. I don't know.
Baby.
I think I'm thanking the Lord right there.
You look handsome.
Yes. There we go.
It's our wedding.
Yes. Those some beautiful pictures.
Now, I want to talk about this kiss here, because Allison love waits, right?
Yeah,
I did not have sex. And when you all got to this kiss, it was like the longest kiss recorded in history. And we were like, okay.
Really? Definitely. We waited a long time for that.
I know, but let me tell you, I really thought like you were just gonna pick her up off her feet by her mouth, you know.
first tongue kiss.
Yeah, that was the first French kiss. So,
And it was
He said
nice.
it was nice.
It was
Okay, and
nice.
it shows how nice it was, you know.
yes, but
Um,
as far as the waiting, you know, I've never waited before marriage to have. I've only been married one time, so, um, but you know, I didn't go into it saying I want to wait. She introduced it, and I thought it was a great idea because all the other situations I'm not with them. Obviously, it didn't work out, so let's try something different. And we were loving the Lord. We had spent a lot of. I had spent a lot of time by myself, forming a better relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, reading the Bible, trying to be a better man. And she had went through the same thing. So when we came together, we started praying together, started going to church together. Then, at that point, you might as well just go ahead and just do it the right way. So we decided to wait, and it was tough sometimes. She's beautiful, and I wanted her and she wanted me, but we just, I don't know, we would just start go running, jogging, doing a 2 mile run or something.
We
She would
would
go
just,
cooking or whatever. We had prayed whatever we needed to do to try to just curb that urge.
we were
And
very, very busy, very busy.
it was very busy. We had a
Did
lot to
so
do.
much. I was
Yes.
still taking ballet classes because I wanted to be in shape. I wanted this dance. I wanted to do Ed Sheeran thinking out loud dance, and he danced. I had prayed that the man would be a dancer, and he had never taken classes before, and he just was a natural. They didn't even teach him how to lift me up for the spin. He just did it on his own. He's strong, y'all. He in shape.
So we did a lot before we got married. A lot of things. We went on a lot of dates.
We went on.
Signed up for dance classes.
We went out with different couples.
Yes.
I moved all my stuff. I stayed in the upstairs bedroom. We didn't sleep together. We didn't even sleep in the same bed together. The first time we slept in the same bed together, but we didn't do anything. We went to visit his son CJ in Pittsburgh, and we was in a hotel, so we slept together that night. That was the only time. Till after we got married, we slept in the same bed together. I was sleeping up here, so I was moving my stuff. I moved my stuff from Baltimore to Glen Burnie here. I was still taking dance classes on Tuesday nights. I was still taking therapy. I do take therapy lessons.
Right. We
What
went
else,
to
baby?
Virginia. We went to Pennsylvania. You went to Arizona.
I went to Arizona. We went to my Airbnb in Hampton, Virginia. This is all before we got married. What else, baby?
So I think it's important. Craig brought that point up, and I think that is so important that, first of all, that our listening audience hear that this is something that he's never done before. He had been married before, so have you. He was not into the dating game. Things were not working and panning out right in that area, so he just kept busy, and so did you, Allison. But you introduced him into the concept of just let's wait and do it God's way, and that's so important for people to hear, because we hear that. And most of us as godly women, that's our desire, is to wait. We don't always find a man that is willing to be on one accord with that desire and to wait as well. So for Craig, I'm so glad that you brought that point out, because it's such a good point to share with other women who are desiring to be married, desiring to do it God's way, and want to wait. And finding a man that wants to wait as well. Because a lot of times women think, oh, they don't have any. I hear women say that, they don't have any men that's doing that. They don't have any good men out. I had a man tell me that one time. Actually, this man was a pastor. He said, Mary J, they don't have too many women doing that, what you're doing. I said, what is that? He said, waiting to be married before you have sex. There are not too many women like you. I said, well, I don't know what world you're in, but I have quite a few friends that are saying that are waiting, So I just think that message has to be driven for women who are women of substance, women that are of value, that understand who they are and whose they are, that they don't have to just lay and stay. And, because sometimes I find women that are there that have been there for years.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Once you have the milk while I get the cow or whatever that saying is or something. I don't know,
Right.
but
While the milk,
yeah,
get
right,
the cow,
yeah,
while,
right.
while by the cow, you get the milk
right,
for free.
right. But a woman, yeah, sometimes she gets pressured into a situation like that because she might really like
If
this person, this
I,
man, and he wants to, he says, "Oh, we're not doing that." Then I don't want to see you, or I want to have sex before we get married, so I can see if you're any good at it or something.
See, that's why you have faith. We had faith, and God gave me the desire. It was no bad surprises on our wedding night. It was awesome.
And that's wonderful, Allison, because and I'm just as Craig said, we have.
Oh, that was another. I'm sorry. And to hold that point, one of the things I had asked for, and for my Boaz, that I included that in my letter to God, that we're sexually compatible.
Wonderful, wonderful, because that is such a trick of the enemy. Because just as Craig said, you do have some that would say that. Well, how we know we're going to really enjoy each other sexually, physically, if we never do it, we might not like it, and then we'll be married and be stuck for years not enjoying each other. But I believe that when you do it God's way, and especially that both of you are people of prayer, women and men of prayer that pray. Well, God is not going to allow you, and I want people to hear this, especially our single ladies. And I'm talking about this because I do late night talk. That's real talk when I get real raw with matters of the heart, up close and personal for all of our single ladies. But God will not allow his daughter to wait and have a desire and write the vision down and make it plain, and then have you to be connected with someone and then be disappointed. So that is just a trick of the enemy for women to say, because I've had women tell me that, well, Mary J, how you know if you're going to even like it? How you know if it's going to be good? It's going to be good because it's going to be God, right? And so when you put God first in the equation, and that is the desires of your heart, then all of those things will be added unto you.
Yes.
That is such a great point. And even when I came to your house, your beautiful home, and met your wonderful family, the beautiful.
They love you. Everybody loves you, Mary Jane. My kids, everybody loves you. CJ.
That's my son, CJ.
That's Craig's handsome son there that looks just like his dad too. Yeah, looks just like your twin. And this is Allison, beautiful, handsome son.
He's a gentle man. He's a good man. He's a peaceful man, Josh.
He is very, very much so. Josh made sure that I got home safely from the hotel. He checked on me because I had a very early morning flight. He made sure that everything went well. I told him I didn't want him to bother the honeymooners, let you guys honeymoon. And it was such a beautiful occasion too. But how through prayer, God even brought these blended families back together on one accord, and just meshed everybody like so perfectly, where families are loving each other in harmony, and having a bonus son and daughter for you, Craig, and just having everybody to come together in such a beautiful way. Now, Craig, I told you I'm so proud of you, because Allison, I hope you don't mind. I want to brag on Craig for a little longer.
Go for it, please.
I understand, Craig, that you wanted to give Allison her dream wedding.
Yes.
And so much so that you wanted to make sure that everybody was welcome, everybody felt the part, everybody was there, and those who you wanted to have in this wedding, that you paid for the entire wedding in full.
Yes, we paid for the whole thing together. We tried to get financing once or twice. We didn't like the term. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
He bought the bridesmaid dresses, the groomsmen suits.
Yes. We bought all those suits and all those.
Amazon, y'all.
Amazon, yes.
Amazon.
The only thing they had to do was get them altered once they got these tuxedos or these gowns. We got them all. We got everybody's address. We ordered them all. We sent them out to them. All they had to do was get them altered and make sure they had a pair of good shoes to wear. That's it. The venue, we had to pay for the venue. The DJ, the photographer. It was a lot. It was a lot going on.
I know it was. And listen, that venue could it had everything. It was a beautiful, beautiful venue, with so many
Arts
details to it,
West. Oh,
with the wraparound staircasing and the beautiful chandeliers. And then it was during December at Christmas time where you had the real beautiful Christmas trees in different areas, the gazebo outside. It's such a delight. And even, for me to get there, and where I stayed at the hotel that was right across the way, that I just went out by a little side door and just did the walking path that led me straight into the venue. So it was it was a romantic love story and a beautiful occasion too to see.
And you know
Allison,
what, Mary J, we tried to book 10 hotel rooms and pay for them, but we kept getting a runaround from the manager of the hotel up there, so we couldn't do that. Else nobody would even had to pay for a hotel. But we opened up her house. We had her family,
oh,
her
yeah.
kids here,
It was a
my
full
kids
house.
here. We had people from Arizona up in
In
the
the house in the
Airbnbs.
Airbnb in Baltimore,
Um,
from Hampton too.
yeah, yeah,
Jean, my bridesmaids, and
yeah.
Alexis. It was something.
And we had like 4 vehicles. They were all being used by whoever came in town.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
cool.
I had two pickup trucks, and I had my sports car. I was driving that. Somebody was driving the other pickup truck, and her sister was
Yeah,
driving the one up at
Nina
the
was
Airbnb.
driving.
And we just was making it happen however we could, getting everybody here and trying to make everybody comfortable.
And you mind if I share about how you brought my kids here and I got CJ here?
Yeah.
Okay, with something really special. I'm glad you got CJ up there. Oh, check this out, y'all. I got a big mouth sometimes. I got a bad temper sometimes, and I have it under control most of the time, right? But it was early morning one morning, and I got in. I said some things to my son-in-law I shouldn't have said. Okay, and they cut me off. I put my foot in my mouth and I got cut off, right? And it hurt me. It hurt me real bad. But you can't unring a bell, you know. I display the fruits of the spirit, but it was early in the morning. I was tired and it was just cold and I don't want to go into detail.
and you're
But I
talking about
said
your daughters
my
that are
daughters, yes, my grandchildren's father. And I said some things I shouldn't have said and hurt his feelings. And Tina loves him so much. And you don't hurt somebody, man. That's her man. So they cut me off for a while, and it was really really hard for me. So I have a friend, Leticia, in Phoenix. I love Phoenix. I ended up moving back to Baltimore from Phoenix because I was helping taking care of my granddaughter while I was there. And when I got cut off, I was like, "Oh, what am I still doing here?" Let me go home, right? So I go home. If I hadn't come home, I wouldn't have met Craig. But I'm saying all this to say, when I've been away, but I did love Phoenix, and I wanted to go back because I had started some things. I was doing I got a vending license to sell my books and my mosaics at the first Friday. And I wanted to use it in October. I have a friend, Leticia, that I stayed with before, and she sells jewelry and stuff. And I was like, well, Leticia, I want to come and let's use my license. I didn't want to pay. I put a lot into that application to get a license, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So I said, well, I'll sell my books, and Leticia, you can sell your jewelry. And that's where I came to Phoenix. And Joshua had moved back to Phoenix too. And Josh picked me up at the airport, and he said, Mom, Tina wants you to meet your new granddaughter. And I was just so happy. So when I saw Tina, Craig told me to tell them, and Charlie is a photographer. He did the photographer for my book cover. He did my book cover. Charlie did this.
Nice.
Gabriel. And Cracks in the Potter's Clay, How I Overcame Bipolar 1 with Faith. So help me. And Craig told me, and I wanted Kamea, to be my flower girl, my granddaughter, she's 2. And Craig said, baby, tell Charlie we'll pay him to be our photographer, and we'll fly the whole family home for the ceremony if they'll be in it. And that was just an offer they couldn't refuse. Okay, so he brought us back together. And then he hadn't seen his son in
Yeah, a long
A
while, about 20
long
years or so.
12 years. He hadn't seen his son, and I hadn't. We got, we became mutual friends. I requested CJ's friendship, and he accepted my friendship. And God laid it on my heart one day. I was praying my prayer book, and God told me to send him a message on Messenger. And I wrote this long message and said, CJ, it doesn't matter that the time that's gone by. You are Craig's heir, and when me and your dad died, this house is yours, and you are an heir, and you have an Airbnb business, and it doesn't matter. And we would love for you to be in the wedding. Would you please, consider being in the wedding and stuff? And he said, I accept your invitation. Thank you so much. So I brought his son to the wedding, and he brought my kids to the wedding.
Yes.
So it's
Isn't
like
that
not
beautiful?
about us. It ain't even about us. We get to enjoy each other, but our union is for more than just us.
That's beautiful.
Okay, CJ and Josh and Tina and Charlie, they all got along so well. And both Charlie and Josh said, I always wanted a brother.
That's
CJ always said, I always wanted a brother. So they got two brothers.
And that's Allison's daughter.
Yes, my daughter Christina,
Holding her
and
newest
True,
grandbaby.
and Kamea, and
Kamea's
Josh.
in the back.
Let me move the banner so they can see.
Yep, that's
True, that's true down
And Kamea
there.
in the back with Josh.
Only one missing is Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie had went. No, he had went to the store.
Oh,
He had
okay.
went and got us this vacuum cleaner. Charlie is so good at getting gifts. He got us this vacuum cleaner, which has made my life so much easier with this shedding German Shepherd I have. Charlie just good with gadgets. He just so good with
Because
gadgets.
neither one of us had any luck with vacuum cleaners.
We-
For some reason in my life,
Both
every
of
vacuum
us.
cleaner I ever had never worked very well.
Me too. I could not keep
So we're
a
always laughing
vacuum
about
cleaner.
that.
Always great.
Oh
Like,
Guys, listen, so everybody would know who Charlie is.
They all put together and got us a shark. It's a shark vacuum cleaner. It's for hardwood floors and carpet. And it makes my life so much easier. I was sweeping up this hair. Oh my God. And now this is so,
So everyone would know who Charlie is exactly. Charlie is Allison, son-in-law, and Craig's son and bonus son-in-law. And the story is that Charlie is also a photographer. He did Allison's book cover, and he did all of these beautiful photos that we see that we're sharing today. So you all understand that there was some mishap with Charlie and Allison, but when Craig gave the offer to have him to come, it just blended and meshed the family together. And then Allison then in turn brought Craig's son together back to the family again. So that's so beautiful. It really is a beautiful story of how the two of you just came together. For our audience to hear that Allison wrote the vision down, guys. She made it plain. She believed God for what it was that she desired. She prayed. She was specific, and she did not leave out the good looks and the sex appeal, because that is important too. Okay. I know we hear all the time, okay, all of the other stuff is great, and it is for most, right? That you have to be spiritual. You have to be prayerful. You have to be.
Make it. It's too hard out here already out here. But I mean, if you use the Lord Jesus Christ as your foundation and use the Bible as your instruction, you pretty much can make it through almost everything. You got to have the patience, the understanding. You can't anger quickly.
Oh, that's a good story. Let me tell you that story. Okay, so Craig, he always says he's very spiritual. He loves the Lord and stuff. He always say, he don't know the scriptures and stuff, right? He'll say, you know the scriptures, I don't know the scriptures. Well, this particular day, we had just got married, and we had a argument. We had a really big disagreement, and we were trying to talk. We were starting to talk it out, right? And he said something that pissed me off, and I got up and went upstairs, and he said, Allison, and I ignored him. He said, Allison, and he said, be slow to anger. I said, what you say? He said, be slow to anger, be quick to. I said,
Quick to listen.
Now he know it. Go ahead, baby. What's the address?
John 1 9,
James.
James 1:19.
And it's what is it?
Be slow to anger,
Mm-hmm. No, quick to listen
quick to listen, slow to speak,
and
slow to anger.
slow to wrath. Yep, because I used to say that scripture all the time, and I was like, "Oh, that's how you talk to your wife. You give me the word. I know that's right." I gave him a high five. I said, "What you say?" He said, "Be slow to anger." I said, "Go ahead, baby." He can always. I said, "You can always bring me the word. I will always submit to the word." I will
That's how
always,
you do it. That's exactly it, you know. And you all are newlyweds that have waited for some time. Both have been married. Allison, if you don't mind, let the people know how old you are for those women that have
I'm
lost hope.
Yes, look, God's delay is not his denial. I met Mr. Right. I'm 56 years old. Okay. 56. And God has given me the desire of my heart in every single way. Love God with all your heart. Seek him. Find your purpose from him. Once you ask God for your purpose, you will live a fulfilled life and you're complete. But he will, he will give you. It's not God's will for man to be alone. That's what his word says. And if you trust him and put him first, he will give you the desires of your heart. I was like, I didn't know he gave me more than I asked for.
That's beautiful. More.
And I'm
Yeah.
53, so um, for 3 years I was single. I was starting to get worried. I was like, man, I used to be able to meet a nice woman, all the time. Maybe now I'm in the 50s. It's harder to do. Obviously, you can't just pull your car over and roll the window down. Hey, baby, that don't work no more at 50 something years old. You do that when you're 20.
In your
And
20s,
then
right?
COVID came around, and that kind of shut down all the dating for a long time. That's when I got on the websites and whatnot. But there's a all you do on the website is like each other, like you said, like each other. And then I got like 1,000 pictures of girls, women that we liked each other, but never had a conversation with one another. So the online dating thing, you got to find a website that really goes into detail like eHarmony. They
It
do more than
does.
just
It does. I highly
matching pictures.
recommend it. I highly recommend it.
That's wonderful. That is so wonderful. And
And for real, everybody out there, you need the Lord Jesus Christ as your foundation. If you really want to make it work in a marriage, we're two individual people. We got our own, ideas, our own way of thinking. But if you use the Lord as the foundation and you follow the Bible as much as you can, nobody, everybody sins. But if you just try to do your best and go to church and pray together, um, it makes it a little easier and
A
hopefully
lot
a lot
easier.
easier. And if you just use that, you can make it. And
that's
that's the goal.
beautiful.
We'll be back in another 30 years.
Hey man, because it's like we both are always thankful. We thank each other for everything. Thank you for breakfast, baby. Thank you for making my lunch, baby. Thank you for providing this beautiful home, baby. We just say thank you all day, every day for
That's
everything we
wonderful.
do for each other. We thank each other. We're grateful, and it's like I don't worry about him, because we love each other so much. I know I have the best man in the world. I know he's not a perfect man, but he's a perfect man for me. And he doesn't have to worry about me. I don't have to worry about him stepping out because we got our heart's desire in each other. Is nobody finer in this world than him?
That's a nervous
Nobody.
laugh right there. Okay.
Mm.
I remember when I first came to your home, your beautiful home there in Baltimore. Both of you two brought me up to your prayer room, and we took off our shoes and we had prayer. And and just that, I felt the presence, of God there. I felt the spirit of family and unity there. I knew that this would be a blessed marriage, that the two of you will walk together on one accord. And Craig, that is so on point, that both, but I'm glad Craig is using that principle. When you like get a little irritable with each other, just start quoting the scripture. Allison, listen, to be
Yep,
slow to anger, you
yep,
know
yep.
that's right. Be slow to anger, be slow to speak, and but that's how you do it. And so for everyone that is watching and that is listening to this love story, love waits. love waits, and they waited, and they waited to do it God's way. They understood who they were and what they wanted, and when they saw that it was just it, and there's no need to continue to prolong it. And so that is so good that you all just decided. But I want to talk about it, and I know Craig touched on it a little bit, and we have about 15 minutes left on the air. What was the wait like? Let's talk about the way, because listen, you already know I'm real talk Mary J, okay? Real talk for real people, right?
Right.
What was that wait like? Because in the process of waiting, let the people know the intensity of the wait. Let them know the things that you all had to do to because I know there were some heated times. There had
Oh,
to be
yeah.
some hot moments. There
Yeah.
had to be some hot moments. So what do you do to stop from
Uh,
doing what you want to
really
do before you say
just try
I
to
do?
keep, right. Well, really just try to keep each other busy, going out and dating, doing other things. We really didn't stay together until late, like about a month before the wedding. We kind of started. Uh, she started staying here overnight or whatnot, but it was definitely hard. We would kiss. We didn't French kiss, but we would kiss, and
Just
we would
pick.
right peck, and I would touch her, hold her hand and do things like that. And of course, it would. You're sitting there watching a movie and you're playing footsies with her or something. The next thing you know, you're thinking about, okay, let's just, you start kissing. And, you just gotta, we just pull back. She would say, let's stop. That's not right. God wouldn't like this. Or, let's not defile this
Oh my
bed
gosh.
with.
One time we were in the kitchen and he hugged me and he took his hands and rubbed them down my back like that. I was like, don't do that no more.
You see,
Don't do
that's
that
what I'm
no
talking
more.
about.
Woo! Don't do that no more.
And guess what?
Oh my God.
That's
Whatever
what I'm
we were,
talking about.
I
Real
remember
talk.
that.
That's what I'm talking about. Real talk.
yeah.
There you
But you
go.
want to know something else that prevented it? These two dogs. Because soon as we would start kissing or something, the dogs would start jumping up, trying to get in their lap, barking and carrying on. I mean, they just knew what was. They was
But we didn't kiss though, baby. See, he won't let me. I want to tell. It's more to it, but he don't want me to tell.
I never said don't tell anything, but I mean, we didn't. We never French kissed, but we kissed a few times.
It was. Could I get real, baby?
Go ahead, baby.
You sure?
Go for it, baby.
Now you're gonna ask him on the air if he's sure. What if he's not really sure?
Right. No.
Huh? No.
Yeah.
Can I write about it in the book?
Yeah, write about it in the book.
All right, y'all gotta
hear all
read
that
the
in
book. I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book. It's called. He's gonna write the forward to it and probably a chapter also. It's called How I Landed a 3 3/4 Man of God. You can't have the desires of your heart.
Yeah.
Nah. Go ahead.
And I'll tell y'all the secret because it was something that helped get us through. But he don't want me to talk about it. And
it was hard. It was hard, but we managed to do it. I mean, it was basically 3 months, and if you can't wait 3 months for someone you love, then I mean,
and that's the truth. And like he had his hip was hurting him, his leg has been bothering him lately, and he was like, baby, I'm sorry, I can't take care of you. I was like, baby, you waited 3 months for me.
I think that's why my hip is hurt. After we got married, we were definitely
we was doing it like rabbits.
And I really believe I hurt my hip.
He hurt his hip. He was doing it one time with this weird angle. I was like, why are you doing it like that? Why? That's when he hurt his hip. Oh, it was some kind of way.
Now see, Allison, you're making him blush. You're making him.
I do believe that's how I got the injury. Yeah, because I really
you know how you get a tennis elbow? He's working it, man. I got me a roughneck for real.
Craig is like, Craig. Boy, you see, that's just how God does it. He would give you that one that is really low key and subtle, and then the other one that is full of fire, and vigor. And
And
so that's how he does the blending as well, And I can see Craig like, baby, you ain't got to tell him all that. Come on now, you don't have to let him know about it.
Well, she kept, and another thing when she kept telling me it was the bomb when whenever it did happen. Oh, you gonna love this. You gonna love this. I'm like, okay. And she's awesome. We have great chemistry.
I did tell. I said, baby, I'm gonna be worth the wait. Okay, I'm gonna be worth the wait. Okay, I told him.
You told him. You told him and you showed him, huh?
I showed him, and I have grown. It's stuff that I didn't used to like doing, but this man is so good to me. This man is so good. Ain't nothing I won't do for him. Nothing. I enjoy pleasing him. Things that I didn't think I would enjoy, I love with him. I love making him happy. He loved making me happy.
That is so wonderful. And I can't wait to share this with so many different groups and women's organizations and all of the women groups that I know too, because a lot of times we hear all of this stuff, and it's just a myth, and it's a trick, like I said, of the enemy that will cause you to stumble, that will cause you to get weary and to say, okay, I can't wait because no man is gonna want to wait,
Mm-hmm.
And so Craig is that man that waited. And listen, this is she says, I just love y'all. You see the
Nice.
Hey, baby, thanks for being here. Let me say something about if you know who you are in Christ, okay? If you're loved by God, his love is an ultimate love, okay? And if a man won't wait for you, he don't love you.
Come on, say that again. Say that again.
If a man won't wait, he doesn't love you, so he ain't worth having.
That's right.
You got to put them to the test. God has given us this precious jewel between our legs that men just love, okay? And it's a bargaining tool. I'm telling you. I got the man, but this man stepped up to the plate because he wanted me. And he wanted all of me, though. He wanted all of me. He doesn't just want my body. He supports my ministry. He supports me. It loves my children. He does everything. Loves my dog. It wasn't all about that. But that's what women have. This is a treasure we have. God gave us. God made man desire us. He made us for man. That's okay, right. And a man that finds a wife finds favor, finds a good thing, and finds favor with the Lord.
That's right.
And if a man won't wait, he don't love you. He ain't worth having. If Craig didn't wait, we wouldn't be together right now. But he waited, and I make it worth his while every day that I'm alive. Every day.
Come on now. Come on.
I didn't come out. He didn't make me just.
Yeah, well, if you're loving the Lord and you're praying together and going to church together, I think it becomes easier for the man and the woman. So, if you're a woman and you really love this man, see if you can get him in the church with you. See if you can get him praying with you and reading the Bible with you. And, hopefully he'll wait for you to do it the right way, do it God's way.
And exercise helped us too, Ristane. We exercise a lot. We even did a 2-mile race. And it stemmed from an argument. This man is.
We don't argue a lot, but she's bringing it
from an argument.
It wasn't an argument. We came back from walking the dogs, and I was breathing. I started coughing, and she tried to say, "Oh, you're always coughing. You're not healthy." And I said, "I'll dust you in a 2-mile run." And she said, "Oh, really?"
on
Thanksgiving Day, we set up a 2-mile race.
I saw that.
Yeah, we put it on. We did it live. I just followed it the whole time.
And it's on YouTube. But you can, and he did. He followed me and kept up with me. And see, I have been running every day. That just shows how strong man's mind is. And this man is he's very intelligent. His mind is strong. But that's when we set your mind to something. Okay, he wasn't going to be embarrassed because we were videotaping for one. So he stayed with me for 2 miles and then sprinted. I'm a sprinter. He stayed with me neck and neck. We were tied at the end, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Working out, swimming together.
Yes, we did live. We did swim together. We did the dance
walking
class
the
together.
dogs. Did the dance
Yes.
class. All of that stuff burns off energy. Sexual frustration. So exercise helped us do a lot. There's something else y'all got to wait for the book to find out the other stuff. I'm not the only woman like I am. Y'all gonna find out when I write this book.
And we did a bunch of lives, before we got married, just showing doing the 2 mile run, swimming,
going to the movies
the
together. He would
engagement,
take me out there. A man has to have himself together. Man has to have something to offer a woman. Okay, he had his stuff together. He had savings. He had a good job. He was able to take me out. He was able to dine me and provide for me. I have my own. I brought something with me. I have Airbnbs. I have my retirement. I have stuff. I was bringing stuff to the table, but he was like, he would get mad. He'd give me a card to use. And he would get mad if I didn't use the card he gave me. He didn't want me spending my money. He wanted me to spend his money.
Yeah,
that's a real man.
He's a real one. I got me a real one.
Yeah. Not every man can do that, but I mean, you got to be, take your butt to work every day. You should be a hardworking man for sure. Try to provide, but I mean, it takes 2 incomes. I mean, if you have a partner, you guys can come together. It's a little easier, but you don't have to have diamonds and pearls and everything like that. But if you're going to work every day, 2 people going to work every day, they should be able to, make it somehow, even if they have to struggle a little bit. But you should at least be working and not sitting home, smoking with or something.
That's right. That's right. I always tell women all the time, when God made Adam and Eve and he put them in the garden, then he said it's not good for man to be alone. But when he brought woman on the scene, everything was already provided. The foundation was already laid.
He provided a home for me.
All she had to do was come there and help him with the vision, help him get the job done. That's why she is the help meet to help meet the need. And so I told Allison, when I asked her the question, Allison, do you desire to be married again? And the reason why I asked that question to women, I asked that for 2 reasons: to see where their mind is and to see where their self-worth and their self-value is. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when women go through some traumatic experiences or some disappointments in life, they get withdrawn and they feel like, no, I never want to do that, and then when I start hearing that kind of talking, it lets me know that there's still a whole lot of pain embedded. There's a whole lot of hurt, a whole lot of unresolved issues that are there. And one thing that I said to Allison is, Allison, when you get married and God sends you the right person, you remember I told you this, I said that person will be with you. You'll still be doing all that you would do, because remember you said, well, Mary Jane, I do this, I do that, I have so much going on, and I don't want any man to come and I can't serve God the way that I love and serve God now. I said, when God sends the right man in your path, because I believe that it's a conscious decision. I believe that God sends the person and then it's you have to do the choosing, right? You have to do the choosing. And so I said, Allison, when that time comes, you're going to still be able to write. You're going to still be able to preach. You're going to still be able to swim, to do all the things you're doing, to run with Nakia. Remember I told you that? I said he's going to complement what you're already doing. He's not going to stop you from doing what God has called you to do. And so when you find that a man is stopping you from doing what God's called you to do, then that says something about his insecurities and what is going on within him. So that's why I told you I'm coming on the show, and we got 1 minute and 23 seconds left. That's why I told you, Craig, that I'm so proud of you, and I just love to brag on you, because I see you guys still on social media. I still see you swimming. I still see you running. I still see you guys running with the dogs, both of you going for it with the dogs. I still see Craig going live and you going live together. I saw the little cute thing y'all did where you all were watching the Newlywed Game,
That was his idea. He's so creative. He's so much fun.
And that's important, and that's what the world needs to see. And I say that all the time in my book Intrigue. When you are coming together as one. You're to complement and you're to build. You're not supposed to get dormant and hermit and sheltered and no longer you're fun. You're not sexually
Right.
attractive anymore. You don't want to be intimate anymore, so all of those things. And I know that you all are early on into your marriage, but it's important that you have a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, and a healthy sex life as well. So that's awesome. That's awesome, you guys. I want you all to
Thank
share
you,
whatever it is. We have 42 seconds left. You go ahead and
I just want to thank God for you, Mary J. I want to thank you for your prayers before I even met Craig. I thank you for your prayers. God would just, the Holy Spirit would lead you and you would help me. I thank you for letting me be on your show 2 times already and let me come on with my husband now. And I thank you for spending your money to fly to come to our wedding, to pray, bless us, to pray in this prayer room for our union. I thank God for you, Mary J. I thank God for you.
I thank God. I thank God for you too, honey.
Yeah.
And God sends us healthy relationships in the right season at the right time. So I thank God. I thank God for the connection that we have as well. I would not have flown all of those miles for someone that I didn't feel that is a person of substance and value in my life. So I thank God for our relationship as well. And I'm so happy for what God is doing and has done in your life. Craig, is there anything you want to say before we go off the air?
Just put the Lord first, and it'll definitely make it a lot easier to make it through your marriage and any troubling times. And when you're together, you got to compliment each other and you got to support whatever their activities the other person is in. And just, you got to.
And keep.
Right. And don't try to stop them from doing things that they normally do by themselves. Just encourage them or, participate, or at least don't try to stop them from doing them and show interest in it. And that helps. You want the person to grow individually, and they'll love you for that. But if you try to hold them back, the next thing you know, you have resentment somewhere down the line. So it's important to just let them be themselves and support them. And you got to trust them. Obviously, if you trust the person, then you'll let them go out into the world and do what they need to do without, trying to hold them back.
And love God first.
And love God first.
Love yourself second, and then the other.
You can't control anybody else. So, you just got to love them and trust them. If you can do that, you put the Lord first, and, you can have a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you guys for coming on the show with me on tonight. I am so proud of you both, and so blessed to call you both my friends, because the two of you are one. So I thank God for both of you as well. Did you guys have a happy married Monday? Because we're about to be out of here.
Yes, it was awesome. Thank you, Mary J. We love you.
Love you.
Love you all.
Thank you.